like, here's a cookie, baby. Baby, baby,
There's a
baby, baby.
cookie, baby.
They love that shit. You don't know. You don't know. You haven't
I'm the
had babies
cookie
yet.
monster.
They
So
want you to
federal
say the
agents who are
same
watching
few
this, this is
words over and over
I don't
in
give
a
a
peppy
shit. I don't
way.
know any of them.
This is why you don't have no
Don't
babies.
Google my name, you fuckers.
Nah, man,
Stop
calm
doing
down.
that.
Woo woo. She's kind of violent. It seems.
I'm not violent. I'm just excited.
and people can be excited.
Being violent.
I
This
had
ain't
a quarter
violent.
ounce of champagne.
Ooh, you know
Quarter
what?
ounce? That's not
It's
that
only a couple
much.
more hours.
Nope.
Like a sip.
That's not that much.
No, I had like a
Nothing.
half cup. I think he gave me a half cup, and this is how much I've drank. Like I have
Does it make you weird?
no, I just haven't drank in like 3 years.
Yeah, that's the thing that people didn't notice. When I said that she put mac and cheese powder on top of the mac and cheese, like she tried to make herself some like oven mac and cheese, right? Okay, like, and then she took some Kraft mac and cheese. Oh my god, I can't even say this. Cooked the fucking noodles, right? And then she like mixed it with real cheese and shit, like and milk or whatever. And then it was sitting in the casserole dish, and she wanted a topping, like how they have that breadcrumb topping sometimes. So she
Ew.
fucking took the fucking cheese from the Kraft, and that's what she did, and she sprinkled it on top because she used like
That's
slices to make the macaroni. It was just weird. It was like, the fuck is wrong with you?
it's
Who does this kind of
nasty.
shit? Who puts that on there? Like, why do you have extra packets of cheese sauce? Who has those?
Wait, what did she do with the noodles from the other boxes?
I don't know.
Chat.
Yeah. Like, my kids didn't eat that. They didn't say they ate anything. They did come back with a gingerbread house.
That wasn't assembled though, right?
Oh my goodness.
No, it's not assembled. Of course not.
Right. So, like those people who put shrimp and everything are literally like sending them back with a gingerbread house. Like
Yeah, they sent them back with a gingerbread house. See, they put shrimp in the
you just
Cajun
play roulette with
stuffing.
all the.
And then they like stuffed the bird with shrimps and the stuffing that was Cajun, and that's that. Then they tried to feed my kids that, and it was in a dry ass turkey, and then
No.
oh god, it was not good. And then she
No.
took the greens from the can, and she like threw ham
No.
hocks in it, and then she like cooked that up for like a little while. But you can't cook ham hocks take a long time to cook
No.
Yes,
until
they
they
do.
break down. You know what I mean? So she's got these non-cooked ass ham. Oh, it's just so bad. And then
God damn,
that
now
is
I'm soul
No.
food.
why would you do this?
You can't use canned green beans because they're already too soft.
It was
No.
greens. It was greens, but you're right. It's the same concept.
Hmm.
They're already cooked. They take hours to cook.
And then there's just shrimp on everything.
And then there was and then you got the potato salad that's got
Oh,
a can of fruit cocktail and some shrimp in it,
is that for
and they
real?
mixed it.
Like that
Stop it!
actually
That
happened?
y'all, she got that recipe from one of those white lady recipes
I'm gonna
long
fight.
time ago, and then she fucking
Fight.
kept it from like the 70s or the 60s. This is an old woman. She's like in her 60s. So like, this is what the fuck. Why are you bringing up old recipes? And she's been using it every year, especially that stuffing, because I seen that stuffing before, and I was like, oh hell no, I'm not eating that. Who puts fucking shrimp in the fucking stuffing? And why is it Cajun? Why does it have to be like that? I'm not gonna eat that. That
I
is
don't think you
too
can
weird.
blame Cajun people for that
I didn't
stuffing.
blame it
I'm
Cajun.
sorry.
I said well, Cajun flavor. It was the Cajun seasoning that she used. I didn't say it was the Cajun people's fault. But she from the South too, so it might be. What do you think about
Ma'am.
that?
No. Oh. Okay. Who ate it? Who ate that shit?
My uncle.
Is he okay? No, he's not okay. He's
Nope.
not
He
though.
drinks.
Is he okay? I love it.
Is he though? No. You can't have fruity shrimp.
That's weird, dude.
Fruity shrimp? No.
It's not fucking Fruit Loops.
I'm
One time,
upset.
my grandma.
Okay, so one of my
One
one of
time,
the
my
people
grandma
I've,
threw a
I've
can
met.
of fruit cocktail in the motherfucking potato salad. She did that before. My grandma.
I mean, like ceviche is a thing. That is not ceviche.
But she
Not
didn't
even
put no
on the
shrimp in
same.
there. She didn't put no shrimp in there, but didn't nobody eat it neither.
So one of my Twitter buds is actually a pretty damn good cook, and he posted about his Thanksgiving, like made us. I don't know if y'all would like it, but this is the guy that talked about putting crab in his stuffing, and actually, it sounds really damn good.
Crab in his. I'm not doing it.
No, so
Y'all
he
just trying to
said,
make it
so for
weird.
his back to the dressing, mix a blend of cornbread and French bread, add a crap load of lump crab meat. Once you're done adding the cornbread bread and lump crab to the pan, add chicken stock. That helps
Making it
bind things.
weird.
Season with Tony Cacheres, and Old Bay. Oh no, it sounds good.
Tony Sacheries.
Tony Shatz. Okay.
Yes,
That's
Sacheries.
Sachery.
Mm-hmm.
Season with Tony
And that,
Sacheries, Old Bay.
and it actually is. That's something that people do. Okay, so
It sounds good.
so Bianca, I'm gonna teach you something about the South. So,
Oh, thank you. It's time.
Oh, thank you. It's time.
so some people when they make their dressing, some people take the turkey giblets, the stuff that's in the
Yep.
and
Yep.
put it in their dressing.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people
they do.
just make just regular pan of dressing, cornbread, and that's it. Some people add
Mm-hmm.
like he did crab meat. Some people add shrimp. Um,
I love the shit out of that.
because it all depends on what people are feeling like. It all depends on like if that's
Look,
your
my mom used to do the sausage, right? I was
Mhm.
okay with that. I could handle the sausage.
because it all
But you
depends on
start putting shrimp, I'm out, cuz I can't do it. I'm not doing the shrimp. Nope.
it's all about what people think their specialty is when it comes to dressing.
It's just, mm-mm.
Comes-
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I can feel that. This is why
Yeah.
those people should make gumbo. They should just stick to what they know. If you really like seafood and you want to cook it and you want a good meal that everybody loves at a holiday, make gumbo. Everybody appreciate that.
Everybody likes gumbo.
Everybody like gumbo. But when
I
you
like
start
gumbo.
going and fucking
Customized
with people's
gumbo.
dressing or stuffing, which is the same thing, everybody, it's not okay.
It is not the
People have
same thing.
emotions about it. It's the same
Don't
thing.
fuck with Lakeisha on this.
No, I'm talking
That-
about it is the same thing. I took the boxes, put them together. I called the fucking company. It was the same thing.
Lakeisha's not going to stand for this.
I'm just letting you know what it is. The components are exactly the same.
The
Okay.
components, but you stuff the stuffing.
Stuffing.
Yeah,
It's called
uh-huh.
stuffing when you
And I-
stuff the
yep,
bird.
Yeah,
It's called dressing when you put in the pan.
Exactly.
and they're the same thing. Like I said,
But
it's the
see, when
same
you
thing.
make it, but see, here's the thing.
Doesn't matter.
when
It's the
you
same
make-
thing.
But most people don't. You understand? When you stuff your bird, usually it's just like it's French bread. It's not.
Some
even-
people stuff their bird with dressing.
But then it becomes stuffing.
No,
and the addition of all the
they call
juices
it. They
from
don't
the
call it
turkey.
stuffing. They call it dressing.
No, you don't know. You don't drink. No,
That's because it's all the same thing. We're just if we're using the same thing. We're stuffing it or we're putting it in a little pan.
no, because some people
it's the same thing.
No, because some people use just bread. You understand? Just bread, like regular bread.
Yeah, like cornbread or something.
You understand?
Mhm.
Like
Cornbread
regular
stuffing.
bread. Yeah, like
Mhm.
you understand? Like people use like French
Mhm.
bread or whatever. Like old
Cornbread
bread.
stuffing's pretty freaking good.
That's how they used to do it in the first place.
Kamala
Before they
makes.
had these Mrs. Cubisons or whatever, they used to stuff it.
But
with
when
bread.
they use it but when you make it as a dressing, you could actually take like when I made my stuff, like when I made my dressing, I made my dressing with not only just cornbread, but I also took a stuffing mix and added to it.
Mhm.
And then I added the broth to it. And then I added butter and then I added celery and red
Mhm.
onion.
Mhm.
Oh, that
then-
sounds good though.
Put
That's
it
exactly how I make. That's
Yeah,
exactly how I make stuffing.
Lakeisha, what time should I show up next year? Just let me
and
know.
then I put it in my
That's exactly how I make stuffing.
hold on. And then I put it in, you understand, put in the bowl and I put it together as if I'm, you understand, put my hands all in it, you know what I'm saying? And then I take it out.
Because you got to break
And
it up.
It's the
and
same
then
thing.
and mush it together to make sure that I can actually fold it because some people put an egg in it, and sometimes you don't want to put an
Well, yeah,
egg in
doesn't
it. I
really
don't
change.
put. Hold on, Bianca. And then I put it in a pan. You understand? And then you understand, and shape it to the pan, and then
Mhm.
put it in the oven. When it becomes stuffing, it's because you
Mhm.
stuff the bird. That's why it's
No,
called
it always was
stuffing.
stuffing.
And that fell out of favor a few years ago because people wouldn't heat the bird enough to cook
They have a
the
thing in there where it
stuffing, and
pops
people
out
would get
when it's
sick.
done. Some people don't wait for the thing to pop out. I don't know why.
Exactly. So
It's
that's
like
why, like, for years we've been making dressing instead of stuffing.
it's that's still stuffing or
I
dressing.
know.
Either way.
It's
They
semantic.
called it stuffing first. Then we
It's
got
like,
puritanical and Victorian, and we didn't want to say words like stuff when it came to body cavities. So they started calling it dressing, and that's more of
Wait a
a
minute,
upper
is that
class
could
thing.
not be the origin?
That is how it happened. And then people were like, why are we doing this? Because the lower class people never flipped over and started doing that. That's the middle class. And that's one of their things because they were more puritanical and whatever. When you know what the fucking Victorian age was like.
Puritas.
They did a whole lot of things where they wouldn't call legs legs, limbs. They call limbs. They won't say these words because they're vulgar. And
I
then
think it's more
and-
weird to be like, I'm gonna eat a limb.
and then no, I'm saying it changed because people stopped being so stupid, and now dressing is just stuck in our fucking lexicon. But dressing is what you do to a bird when you kill it, and you gotta fucking dress that motherfucker. Then you stuff it, and whatever you gotta do. But it's the same exact thing. It's the reason why that we call it that is just regional now. If you are in a certain region, you call it a certain thing. If you in this region, I've been in several different regions, and I've heard it called
I've
different
been in
ways.
several
And
different
it's
regions.
always
I've been
the
called.
same damn thing. It doesn't matter where you're from. It's been the same shit. It's
It's pretty
fucking
much the thing.
breadcrumbs, spices, celery, onions, butter. That's the base. You can add sausage or you could add whatever. You could stuff it or you can put it in a pan. Whatever the fuck it is. But it's still the same thing. It's basically a pudding.
Night, William.
Good night.
You know what I mean? Like a
good night,
bread
everyone.
pudding.
Good night.
Bread pudding. It's like a bread pudding. There you go. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. It's just a bread pudding. You can call it that. It's stuffing.
I don't know. I like stuffing, but I hate
is.
bread pudding.
I hate it too. I hate bread pudding. I can't stand it.
I think it's
I can't stand it.
oh no,
It's disgusting. It's fucking
That's like-
nasty.
that and creme brulee are like.
Oh god, I
mm.
can't.
and
stand
I
it
hate
either.
creme brulee.
I hate that too. Ugh.
I hate meringue. Any kind.
I hate that other one that
Flan,
tastes like coffee.
Creme brulee, dulce de
Oh,
leche.
flan's the most repulsive stuff ever.
Tiramisu. Oh,
I don't like
gross.
custard.
I hate
Oh
it.
yeah, I love it.
Okay, you can send
I
that
love it.
all to me. I will be happy.
Exactly. Thank you. Faye and I will polish that off.
I would be happy to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, creme brulee is my favorite. Just like.
Creme brulee
Yeah, man.
Latte.
So
enough can be okay.
my
for-
kids are waiting for Mike and his whatever potatoes he's making, loaded potatoes or whatever.
Don't.
Are you seriously making him make the dinner all by himself and not like helping?
Why would it help him? It's really easy.
It's.
I
I've actually
already
done
got
a
the fucking
whole-
turkey in there, and it's
a whole
done pretty
Thanksgiving
much.
by myself, and
And
it's
I
not-
baked a pie already. He's just fucking heating stuff up, and it's not that hard.
You would think
He's
that
making a
my
gravy?
mother just fought a war by herself. Like, I got up at 5. But, like, my mom has hero complex.
Really?
And it ends up like being uncomfortable because now we all have to praise her, but we praise her after she made us all uncomfortable all day with her extreme anxiety coming out as anger.
Oh yeah.
Not
It's not that hard. Seriously, you just got to figure out when things go in and out to make it all come out at the same time. And like,
and mind you, she does prep everything, so she doesn't, she's not like a purist, like everything has to be from scratch, but she does make almost everything herself.
I have a recipe. When I was vegan, I had a
People
recipe
can't see Kamala.
for green
My
bean
fucking Kamala.
casserole that took a couple hours to make because you actually like liquefied almonds, if I remember correctly.
Holy shit.
And my,
Yeah, how do you liquefy
My
almonds? I have
thing
tried so many
is
times to
not tell
blend
the
those
difference.
bitches.
huh?
I said
I
I've
don't like
put
it.
those things through some pretty intense blenders, so I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, not quite Vitamix, but I did make sure nobody had nut allergies and all that type of stuff. But it's like, yeah, nobody could tell that it was like non-dairy. They're like, this is the fanciest green bean casserole I've ever eaten.
I admit it. I've got that white trash New England. I love green bean casserole.
Yeah, me too. It's like that and stuffing. I like when I go off celiac, maybe I'll go off maybe once a month if I'm feeling like I really need a hamburger or something, or a sub. But for like
Kamala's in my screen
Thanksgiving,
now.
I told Tony, I'm like,
Everybody
I'm
say hi to
stuffing,
hi Kamala.
I'm eating
Hi,
gravy.
Kamala.
There she is. She's been hanging out at my house like this all day.
Are you leaving, Lakeisha?
No, it's waving at
Just
Kamala.
waving to
Hey,
Kamala.
waving at Kamala. Hi, Kamala, Kamala, Kamala.
Kamala,
Oh,
Kamala,
God, I
Kamala,
love
Kamala,
that.
Kamala, Kamala. Kamala, Kamala.
She's right here. She's like totally interested in what we got to say.
God, it's 1 o'clock.
Don't get to be like Robin and the doll. No, okay.
I don't speak for her because I had no idea what she would say.
Right.
You know what's funny
I'm
about
like-
when I get really high, I can hear voices in my head, not like delusional.
Whoa!
When I read something by somebody, I can hear their
Oh yeah, when you read something by them,
where
you hear
that's
their
not
voice.
normally true if I'm not high. So I love to then read a quotation by Kamala and be like, I can hear Kamala.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm just gonna remind you that we're live streaming so that you know.
Oh,
Oh fuck.
I knew this entire time.
Hi. We should be playing video games.
We're all
Yeah,
drunk and high.
what game-
We're all either
What games
drunk
do you
or
wanna
high.
play?
We're smoking.
And we're all against
And
fruit
we're
salad
drinking.
and potato salad.
fruit
We are
salad in
against it.
potato
It's
salad.
unanimous.
One year, my grandmother decided she was going to help, and she was going to make potato salad.
Ooh.
And then she made. Who ate it? Nobody. My.
Who hated? Nobody. Womp womp.
Nobody fucking ate this because it was not normal. She threw a can of fruit cocktail in it. And then, like, when I heard this one, I said, oh my God, like, did my uncle fucking, like, pick up the fucking family,
He's carrying on the man.
the family tradition. And now people know why the fuck I'm always like, what's that food? No, you're going to jail. Because
What's that food? No, you're going to jail.
because my fucking grandmother would hand me things where I'd be like, no, this is not okay. I'm not eating this. Like
Wrong.
her tomato and lettuce mayonnaise salad. Why? Why did we have no? It was
What
Miracle
the
Whip
fuck?
salad.
What the actual
Yes.
fuck?
No,
is
that's delicious.
Tomatoes and fucking cucumbers
Ew.
and lettuce and then Miracle
Yes.
Whip and salt and
Okay.
pepper. Fuck you.
Why the
Fuck
Miracle
you.
Whip?
Cause she fucking hated me. I don't know. Cause
she
Miracle.
fucking hated me.
No. She
No.
she liked it. She liked it. She put mayonnaise and shit
There's, like,
sometimes.
Why does food feel like a crime?
Mayonnaise
Yeah.
go together.
And
It's
like
just
she thought
delicious.
that's how white people ate, and she wanted to be like the white people. And she was
Oh,
like,
she
"Hey,
did not
and
have
she
to
would be
emulate us.
classy."
And you know what? We were
So
putting
she would
out
read
some
y'all's
dumb shit at
weird
that
ass
time.
recipes, and she'd be like, "This is delicious."
Oh,
Because
they're
she'd get
putting
it in like
everything in
Good
Jell-O, huh?
Housekeeping from 1968, and she'll keep that recipe, and then she'll want to fucking use it again, and it's got like fucking mayonnaise and Jello and some kind of fish, and she's like,
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, "Stop it, because it's the 1980s now. We don't have to do that anymore."
Who else is watching the live stream?
Huh? I am. That's all of us. We're all watching
Okay, well, it says 2 watching now, so it's you and it's me.
it. Hey.
Hey.
Two of us watching.
Yay.
Ugh. But it's like 1:03 in the morning, and I should probably get my
You're
happy
going to
hour.
bed. Good night.
So good
Night.
night, my
Good
loves.
night.
Night.
Bye,
See you
Tracy.
soon.
Love you, Tracy.
Look, they heard
What?
our dressing debate. Who eats the green bean casserole?
I fucking
My sister does. She's a freak.
I
So
love
one
green
day
casserole.
I was walking past some green bean casserole, and then thank you. Then I stopped and I said, "Oh, look at that! Ooh, yum!" And I ate some, and it was delicious.
Green bean casserole is great. I love it.
I was like,
See,
"This is
there's
fucking delicious."
one of them. They're right there. Get her.
I love it.
Mm.
And I admit that it's pretty white trash.
Oh
I
my
don't think it's
god!
white trash. I think it's just it's a
Mike's
flavor.
potatoes are delicious. Mmm.
See, he did all right,
Mm.
didn't he?
Yeah. I just didn't want to make
Aw.
any turkey.
Oh, you got fed? Oh, that's good.
I did
Get
get
your
fed.
food.
I wasn't worried though, but my mom did not bring me back any food, and I was grateful.
Oh my
Because I
god.
had said, "Oh, bring me back some fucking turkey," right? She was like, "Okay," and she did not bring anything back. I was like, "Oh,
Is that because she knew it was gross?
man, it was bad."
See, your mom loves you. She didn't want to subject you to that.
She didn't make the kids eat it either.
Good.
She learned since she used to put me at the table for hours at a time, trying to make me eat some shit. Oh my God, Jessica, don't fuck with Lakeisha on this. God damn you, Jessica.
She got you.
I mean, Lakeisha's
Fucking
got feelings
Jessica.
on this. On
She straight abandoned me in the
Yeah, she came out and was like, foul.
Yeah, she
oh
abandoned
yeah,
Over the
me.
line.
live
As
stream
soon
is
as the war
behind.
started, Jessica fucking was like, "I'm on the other fucking side."
I know, it was pretty glorious.
Don't fuck with Lakeisha on stuffing's the same thing as dressing.
That was funny. No, I'm just saying how it came about to be a split, and how we say it. It really just refers to a preference, depending on whether you were middle class or you were a normal person. A normal person people didn't have to change over, so they just call stuffing.
Yep.
And then they started getting pretentious and putting on airs, so they started using the word dressing like they're betters or whatever you want to call them. But it was just a middle class freak out. Oh no, we can't say that. Can't say that word. It's so vulgar. America is born on a puritanical framework, right?
Yep.
And this is why we have so many problems around abortion, around guns, around everything. We had a problem around alcohol, where everybody wanted to keep banning alcohol. It's because of the way America was born. It was Puritans. And those Puritans, nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted the Pilgrims. Nobody. There was a reason they didn't want them. Because they're fucking assholes.
They ruin everybody's fun.
They're fucking like, man, you want the people there? They're like, well, you can't have premarital sex, and you can't have fun, and you can't have any booze, and you can't have, like, get the fuck out of here. You can't gamble. You can't this, you can't that. Like, damn. I would want them gone too. Because that's how I am. The Cajun flavored stuffing was. Did you say maybe? See how people are. No, it's not good. It's
Okay,
really
where
not
y'all
good.
having this conversation?
I didn't say maybe it's good.
I should file a police report.
Should
You know?
file a police report.
I already had to contact Homeland Security
Okay, so where are we having this conversation at on YouTube?
on Twitter.
Oh, y'all having it on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
I'm just gonna contact
There is
Homeland
no
Security
Jesus on Twitter.
again
Mm-mm.
and get them on this case because we've had several crimes today. We've had the lasagna that was made out of slices of Kraft singles. We've
That
had
was
this thing.
horrible. What was that?
What was that? They blamed it on Italians. Like they was like, this
No.
is lasagna. I have never seen an Italian
You
pull something out
cannot.
like that and say this is lasagna. That
It's
never
for somebody.
happened.
That's because somebody don't know how to cook.
Somebody is bad.
Yeah.
Somebody
You
is
can't blame.
bad.
You
They
can't.
need
You
to go
can't
to
call.
jail.
They can't go to jail. If they don't know how to
They
cook.
need to
Right?
go to jail.
They need somebody to guide them
They
and help
need
them how
a
to cook.
jail I'm gonna put them in a halfway
This is
house.
such a difference in personalities because Lakeisha's like, we need to come together and help that person.
Put
Yes.
their asses in jail.
You can't
Their
put them
asses
in.
in.
No.
Well, put
Look,
them in a halfway
That's not how
house.
jail works.
Put them on monitoring. Do some kind of
No.
monitoring.
that's not how
Can't
this
have them
works.
just
y'all.
running around like,
They have to
here,
send
have
a picture to their parole officer.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
they
not how
don't.
this works, baby. We have to.
This is
We
why
have to
the
guide.
world is so angry.
We
We
have
got
to
all this
learn.
nasty food going around. People just handing it out. All this mayonnaise. The more we eat mayonnaise is directly correlated to how much depression American has. That's how much depression we have. The more mayonnaise we eat, the more people are depressed in America. I
Okay,
think we need
Bianca.
to look into that
Bianca.
because we didn't
Hey,
have such a high rate of depression
I,
before.
I
When
believe
people
that it
had
might
to make
be
their own mayonnaise. Because you didn't use as much mayonnaise.
correlation is
Just
not
to
the same
ball the
thing as
mayonnaise. You have to
causation.
make it yourself. That take a long time. They didn't have all these equipment in the kitchen. They didn't have a Cuisinart to just whip it up real fast. They had to do it with the do it like that, and that took a long time. They were like, no mayonnaise today. We're not going to even. I'm too tired to make mayonnaise. And then people weren't so depressed. But now we have all these vats of mayonnaise at Costco. People are just like, hey, I'm gonna take this and throw my steak in there, and I'm gonna dip my chicken in there. And now we have all these depression cases.
Bianca.
This is how it is. Faye, Faye be sad. She be having depression. You know why? Because she used to make
And
mayonnaise.
you used to have to make mayo. It's true.
Yep, they used to make her make it.
No one
It's
else would
direct.
make that shit. It was the worst. No,
Mike used to
literally.
make mayonnaise all the time and come back and tell me about it, and that depressed me. And that's why I'm depression case because I had to hear about him making mayonnaise. 'Cause he had
Okay,
to make it at work.
okay, but there are other causes of depression besides
Besides
mayo.
mayonnaise,
Besides mayo. She
like
has a.
like what?
You know, like
Lack of
high.
avocados.
No,
No, that's
no.
not a cause of depression.
I'm like, what's going on?
Oh my
That is
God.
a
Banana
symptom.
Republic. Wait a minute. Banana
I'm
Republic
saying,
ran
man,
out of khakis.
what happened? No peach pie at the store.
You know,
No, I'm just
Starbucks
saying.
ran out of
There's
pumpkin
no more
spice.
Gap. Gap went
There's
out
no
of
more
business.
Gap. Old Navy is all they got.
Mm-mm.
Oh no.
Starbucks out of
They
pumpkin
don't have a
spice.
Target in
Oh,
their
no
town.
Starbucks. Oh, no, not the Target. That's
the
a direct hit on
the
me.
Target closed down and moved.
Hootie and the Blowfish broke up.
Oh
Fuck.
no, they did.
I didn't know they were still together.
I didn't. How many songs did Hootie and the Blowfish have?
They had a couple of albums out.
I only remember one fucking song.
Oh, they had a few.
That's all I remember is one.
I thought he went on his own a long time ago. He goes by his
Mm.
name, Darius Rucker.
Yeah, but they were together for I forgot how many albums. I think they had like 4 or 5 albums out.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know Hootie and the Blowfish was still a thing. Why they break up?
Because I think because Darius Rucker wanted to be solo.
And you want to get them off
But
his
I do
back?
know my favorite, my favorite band in the whole wide, one of my favorite bands in the whole wide world is
Ooh.
still together, except the saxophonist. But
Ooh.
Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, okay. You know who I saw?
I was listening to them today, and I was like actually thinking, like, I kind of like them.
Who?
Like
Like, yeah, I go back and I
Dave
be like,
Matthews Band. I used to
Yeah.
love them when I was a kid, but now I'm like, I still like them. Like,
Yeah, they were. Look, they had Let Her Cry. They had Only Wanna Be With You, Hold My
I wanna be
Hand.
with you. That one. That's the only one I know.
Time I Go Blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind.
I don't think I
Yeah,
know that one.
yeah. They had a couple of albums out. They had. Let's see. Let me pull up their discography. They Who in the Blowfish are breaking up.
Oh no,
Um,
not Hootie and the Blowfish.
they had Crack Rear View was their first album. Fairweather Johnson was their second album. Musical Chills was their third. Their self-titled album, Hootie and the Blowfish, came was the fourth one. Looking for Lucky was their fifth one. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3,
And to the
4,
folks, Snoop
5.
Dogg and Dr. Dre.
And then they just
Oh,
came out,
no.
and they just came out with another one last year, In Perfect Circle.
Damn.
They had 6 albums out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Hootie and the Blowfish. That was like the
I mean, Hootie and the Blowfish was kind of like the band. They were kind of like the Nickelback of the '90s, so to speak. You know, like you can listen to them in secret, but you never told anybody you actually listened to them. Like you didn't tell many people that you listened to Nickelback. You know what I'm saying, when Nickelback came out. So it was like, you know what I'm saying. But you screamed to the
I don't
end.
think I knew about Nickelback until they went back in because
And the only thing is that I really like and you know saying like back then it was like you had uh during that time, during that genre, that year, those years of you had Three Doors Down, which are actually from Mississippi. They're from
I remember
Biloxi.
them.
Yeah. Yeah, because Superman was my jam when it came out.
will you
Uh,
be my
What?
Superman?
Sing some of it.
If I'm alive and well, will you still be there holding my hand through?
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah,
that
that
song's
was pretty good.
fucking good.
my superhuman mind,
I
kryptonite.
remember that shit.
Yeah, I love that song, Kryptonite. That's the name
It's
of
so
the song.
good.
Um,
Yeah.
We should
and
try
then
and travel back like the last 20 years and redo
and then
them.
you had of course,
Yes.
like I said, then you had of course, um, people like then you had other people like I can't remember Daltrey, because I loved when Chris Daltrey was on the American Idol, I was rooting for him all the way. And then of course then you had Nickelback, and then you had all these awesome little bands that was just, you know what I'm saying, that you know for a black girl who, supposed to be listening to R&B
Supposed to be.
and rap, which I did at the time. But I mean, I listened to all genres of music. I mean, come on. I could sit here and listen to a good opera or a really good sonnet,
Of course.
a good or orchestral,
A
piece,
nice
or
version of Green Sleeves.
yes, or um, or just do something different, what I'm saying? Because my grandmother made sure that when I was a kid, first and second grade, I think we went first, second, and third grades, and I was in elementary school. She made sure that we went to the the symphony concert, um, that the Mobile Symphonic, uh, Mobile Symphony put on every year. She made sure I went to every version of the. I went to every year to go see the Nutcracker. Every time they had Peter and the Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
whatever show Oliver, I got to see a lot of all kinds of stuff. So my grandmother took me to go see the movie Amadeus,
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
um, which was, of course, which as a kid when that movie came out, you really wasn't supposed to see it because there was a lot of things that were going on in that movie.
There's a lot of adult stuff in that film. Yeah.
Yeah, and but it was
I saw it
really,
in class at school.
it was one of those movies. But you know that movie is actually based on a play
Mhm.
about his life, Amadeus, told from the view of Antonio Salieri. So it was pretty good for me. And then of course, you know, I got to listen to my mom play Hall and Oates. I got to listen to them. I got to listen to Bruce Springsteen and Rolling Stones. I mean, you know, Aerosmith. Um, because I used to listen to all the classic radio stations, and learned about Chubby Checker and um, Little Richard and um,
I met I met Little Richard a few times.
um, who else? Aretha Franklin. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
Contours. You know, Diana Ross and the Supremes. Smokey Robinson
Okay.
and the Miracles. I mean, so I listen to all kinds of music. You know what I'm saying? I used to look because back in the day, there was only two channels actually three channels I could watch music videos on. The first one was WTBS in Atlanta. They had a show called Night Tracks that came on late Friday night and late Saturday night, and that was the only time I could watch any videos. So, because I didn't, there was no such thing as MTV in my house, and I would stay up all night Friday night and all night Saturday night watching Night Tracks. Then there was Friday night videos on NBC. I used to watch that all the time. And then the USA Network, before they just became USA, but USA Network had a show called uh, um, Radio 1990. I used to watch that a lot. And there was another show I can't remember. I know it starts with night, but I couldn't remember the name of it, the other show. But yeah, I mean, and then I got exposed to BET and Video Vibrations and Video Soul and MTV with Yo MTV Raps and Club
Mm-hmm.
MTV Wubba Wubba. And
Okay.
so yeah, that was my music. That was where I got
Mm-hmm.
my musical taste come from. So I've done enough talking.
Yeah.
Y'all know. I know I like to talk a lot, but
Oh, you're all good.
I'm just looking at this Black Friday bullshit, and I'm like,
ooh, yes, don't even
I'm
get me
not going
started
out
about
there at all. I don't feel like it. I'm not
Me
going anywhere
neither.
to
No.
indie stores. I'm not going to get stepped on or pushed
Oh,
around or anything.
awful.
Hold on for a minute,
Um,
baby. I'll be back.
okay, the burners are mad at Kamala again, but for the
Already,
dumbest
man.
shit ever.
Well, tell me it's great. I love it.
She posted about, her, obviously she loves cooking. So she
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
posted about brining her turkey, and then they're like, imagine Kamala talking about brining her turkey when so many people are food insecure. Well, of course,
What
people
the
food
fuck?
insecure is not funny. I mean, of course, but I don't think she was trying to mock or being insensitive by
Of course she
talking
wasn't.
on Thanksgiving about turkey.
Nope.
So now we know what? That
That
the
they're
Bernie
crazy.
Bros motherfucking complaints are irrelevant bullshit. Period.
Yep.
Constantly.
They're not serious at all. None of the shit
No.
they're saying is fucking serious. Actually, we give them a lot of attention that they don't
Oxygen.
deserve. Mm-hmm. And that's why people hear that stupid shit over and over again. But we gonna stop that shit because we're gonna have to form another group to defeat the AOC squad. Like all these fucking crazy people that have popped up and they're like, oh well, we'll follow AOC and just fuck with people over whatever shit. Nah, fuck that. We need to form a new group to fight them motherfuckers because that shit is annoying. I'm tired of that shit. They kind of shape the narrative of what the fuck we talk about and what gets talked about by being the loudest voices and
Yep.
and being so consistent as in like they all say the same exact shit. So we need to start getting our shit together because I'm looking for some leadership out here. Where's the people leading the other part of the left, the majority of the left? Where are we at? I don't see nobody out there doing shit. All I see is people latching onto this progressive shit that's not even progressivism. It's just socialism that they call progressivism because they know that the word socialism really doesn't sell. As soon as you put the title socialism on some shit, people are like, get the fuck off. So they're like, we're progressive. And they're not progressive. They're fucking socialists. Just admit it. That's why they're DSA. That's what the fucking Justice Dems are. They're not really fucking Democrats. They're socialists. That's just their way of infiltrating the party. And
Yep.
I'm so tired of their bullshit because the stuff they think is relevant is completely irrelevant, and they are taking up airspace, and we are not getting listened to because of them. And
And
really,
the worst thing
we
is
need
they're
to shut the
taking up
fuck up.
airspace from the things that are actually relevant.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they don't care about people hungry because they haven't been saying shit about people hungry all motherfucking this whole time. All they've been saying is pay my fucking college bills off. They haven't said shit about starving people. The only time they say some shit about that is when they see Kamala with a piece of meat. They're like, "Oh,
I didn't
Kamala's
like,
got food."
and like I didn't like participating in like the weekly Sunday dinners or whatever because I was just like it's too much to do it like all the time. But
The Sunday dinners. What are you talking about?
there was the whole Sunday dinner squad where they literally try to make really fancy dinners every Sunday and post them on Twitter as like a big like, oh, look at all of us like having dinner together kind of virtually. And I was like, this feels pretentious. This
It is
action.
pretentious. I
That
remember that.
does. And I was like,
I mean, it is pretentious, but it's not as though we're going to be like, oh, you're
yeah. And I just didn't want to be associated with them. But like I like literally was like, I want to post my food on Twitter, but I like because I want to post cooking. I want to post like toasting spices and stuff and shit. So I understand why Kamala loves cooking because it's sharing. It's literally sharing. It's being like, this is how I do it.
Yeah, I like to. When
And
I cook-
honestly, if I could cook, I would get in on the Sunday thing because I think it's more
Would you?
about pride of look what I did, not look at my food, you don't have any. I don't think.
right, yeah, it's craftsmanship. A lot of people put a lot of
Yeah.
time and energy into their work. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Proud of their talent. Because honestly, I don't cook very well. So when I do something that's really good, I take a fucking picture and I send it to my mom.
Nah, that's cute.
You do? That's
I
cute.
totally
Like,
do.
when you're
Because
baking
my
those
mom
potatoes.
is a great cook and she's appalled that neither
My
of her
mom comes-
children can
My mom
cook.
comes down here.
Your mom comes
Really?
down
You know
there.
Yeah, my mom comes down here. She'll come down here and tell me to wash my clothes. My mom doesn't give a fuck what I think.
Your mom's cute.
She'll be like, "There's a lot of laundry. I need to get this. I'll come down."
You come down here and do
She
it.
offers to come do it, and that's to get me to do it because
Mhm.
I won't let her do it. So I'll be like, "No."
Oh my
Do
God,
it
I might
right
say,
now.
yeah,
Move.
sure. Go ahead.
No, because she'll do the whole thing, and she'll get herself all tired, and she'll like be sweating, and I feel bad. No, no, I don't want her doing that. She had
Yeah.
a back surgery. No, she did stop doing
Oh,
all that. She needs to sit
yeah,
down.
yeah. You don't want her lifting or
No, I don't. I don't want her lifting shit, and she'll do it.
no, yeah, no.
Calm down, mama.
I'm down, yeah.
Oh, hold the fuck on.
What happened now?
What? No.
How about somebody's cousin's girlfriend put avocados on her mac and cheese? Oh, ho the fuck on. Why would you do some nasty
That's
shit
too
like that?
fucking California.
I am so over your motherfucking ass. Who the fuck?
Why are we like this?
That was a white person, I'm almost positive.
No,
No?
I don't think so. Black people wilding today.
It's not my lane. Oh well.
White people. Look, I blame white people usually.
You can,
I'm
you can
not
still
sure.
blame us.
She
I'm
don't-
sure.
Look,
I mean,
I'm not sure. She looked like she might be mixed, or maybe she white, but I don't. No, she mixed. Fuck that. She's mixed. This is black people. It's black people's fault. We did this. Black people, stop it. Just stop. Unless she was white. I don't know because this is a girl.
American
Honestly,
needs to
that
come
really
together.
feels like a white person thing to do.
Oh my god, it's terrible. Ooh,
America.
don't say anything about K Hive because you're gonna get ratioed.
It's tr-
People in K Hive are not having it today. They're having a week.
like we'll
People
still
are not
fight,
in the
but
mood.
fuck you. Oh my god, what the fuck is that?
What is it?
That
Ugh, right? Look like baby poop.
ah
That shit
ah.
look like baby poop. How you gonna put baby poop on top of fucking macaroni and cheese and then serve that shit?
Ah, come on now. I'm trying to live.
It's baby poop.
People are cruel. People are
Baby
dicks. Hey
poop.
Tom. Oh, what's up with your
Baby
little
poop.
eyes? No, come here, bud. No, you're a big boy.
So I got sweet potato. I didn't get pumpkin because pumpkin, it doesn't taste good, so I don't fuck with it.
Nah, that's fine.
But yeah, it's just nasty. And I'm happy with my decision, but I don't know. I'm just really over this. Why are they so mad at Kamala?
Baby dicks.
For eating a plate. She ate a meal today. They're like, how could she eat a meal when people are starving? Y'all didn't say shit like that when Bernie was on the plane eating fucking lobster sliders. That was fine.
Oh what? Oh yeah, and every time AOC gets a Vogue or a Vanity Fair cover, they're like, "This is crack." Okay.
Mm-hmm. They're like
That's
the
what-
book Animal Farm. Period.
Oh God, are we the horse that just gets fucked over?
Mm-hmm.
I've read it, but I can't now remember.
Okay.
Read it a long time ago.
The pigs are the Bernie Bros.
Yeah, they are.
All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal. That would be the pigs. And the dogs are like the Justice Dems. Right?
They work for the pigs.
And the lone burners. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey,
And
Tom.
they keep on changing the rules.
Wait,
But
Justice
everybody
Dems
else
and the
can't
burners
read.
are two different things?
Huh?
I thought Justice Dems were like a part
No,
of
they are two different things.
They just
because
seem
you-
similar.
They are similar. And sometimes they have like they're both. Sometimes they're both, right?
Okay.
And that's why it's like that, because sometimes they're just both. So the dogs, they do the tack work for the pigs. The pigs just want to kind of run everything. So the dogs do the tack work. That's like when they send out the Justice Dems to try to primary Democrats. Right? So they're the fucking attack dogs. And then the pigs benefit. That's AOC and Bernie and them, because they get more status because they're running these groups of progressive populists, if you will. All right. So there you go. That's Animal Farm in a nutshell. How does it end? Well, the pigs get all the milk and honey or whatever, right? Or the milk and the apples. Was it milk and apples? I think it's the milk and apples. And they like tell everybody else, well, we need it more because we have to use our brains and blah blah.
God, yeah.
That's how they do everything. Well, and they just make they change the rules, and nobody can't read, so they don't know what the rule used to say. They just know what the rule says now or whatever, I think. Or nobody can remember or whatever. It was just, you just have to read it. Read Animal Farm. It's like such a short book. It's really short.
I read it so many years ago. I should read it again. I can't even remember any of it by now.
The one I can't remember is 1984, and I really should have remembered it.
Oh, I loved 1984. I took a class, a literature class called utopian writing, and it was on
Mm.
utopia and dystopia. So A
Which are the
Clockwork
same thing.
Orange in 1984, and oh God, oh, we read Walden too. It's funny, my father met and corresponded quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, corresponded with B.F. Skinner for a while.
Really?
Yeah, my father did hypnosis for a while and sent B.F. Skinner a tape, because it was tapes then, with a letter about like why he thought it was parallel to his, Skinner's research. And they ended up corresponding back and forth.
Mm. Hypnosis. I want to do that. But
That's
I
actually
don't, because
funny.
that
I have
movie Get
another
Out.
friend that met B.F. Skinner on a plane, and at the time he was a professor, and at the time she was a professor. So they bonded, and when he wrote Walden 2, he sent her 2 copies. One was signed
Mhm.
B.F. Skinner because one was signed your friend Fred, and
Oh,
then
that's
the other
nice.
was signed B.F. Skinner because he joked that one would be worth more one day.
That's cool.
He was right.
The Crown shows really piss off in England. I kind of like it.
Babe, have you seen the Queen's Gambit?
Not
Mm-mm.
yet, but I was looking at it. It looks pretty neat. Interesting.
What
I
is it?
thought it was interesting too. I was I guess where I was wondering especially was one of the characters, I think the main character, the girl who plays chess. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know the details. Is said to be portrayed as autistic, though they never say she's autistic. And I'm aware that sometimes that goes badly with the autistic community. For instance, Sheldon on The Big Bang. I love The Big Bang. I know a lot of geeks and autistics don't. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I never watched it.
I haven't watched much of it. I watched a little bit of it with my
Is it white people?
mother-in-law when I was in Canada, because she had cable and I just don't have cable here. I just only have like internet shows and whatnot.
Is it white people? I mean, one of the regulars is an Indian guy, but are there major black characters?
Are there any black people on the show?
Regina King plays the HR director, and she's constantly having to scold Sheldon. But I mean, we're talking about a regular guest, not every day.
Yeah.
Yep. Too white.
It definitely is a white show that probably actually accurately represents some of the and Neil deGrasse Tyson guest stars on it, as well as LeVar Burton. But I think it accurately probably portrays the demographic of that particular niche. I mean, Tyson has talked about that, about how it's still like he's still shockingly alone as the black guy.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that people discouraged him, like strongly discouraged him from going into that because of it. You would think that scientists would be less prejudiced because it's illogical, but homophobia and racism in science, they are very real and bad, as well as sexism, but the sexism isn't as bad as the homophobia and the racism. It's bad in science.
Yeah.
There are a lot of black scientists and inventors and who have discovered things, who have had the work stolen from them, who didn't have the clout to then say anything.
Shit.
It's been
it's the same way it's always been.
I'm telling you that there are some major discoveries that in fact a black person was behind.
Yep.
And that now I've heard white supremacists say things like, well, besides a few, what have black people contributed, acting like black people must be less smart or capable? No, black people have been doing this shit the whole fucking time, just not getting the recognition.
No, definitely. Like the medical field, they don't give us any credit for anything we do.
I mean, I don't know famous people in the medical field, but I have to imagine that it's a variety of people. When I go to a hospital, the doctors all appear to be diverse, so.
Yeah.
Boom.
People are so stupid.
People are stupid.
Okay, this is completely anecdotal only because one person with just
that velour suit
doesn't make anything. But do you know what doctors listen the best to me over the years?
Which ones?
Black women.
Well,
Every black woman doctor I've ever had was a great listener.
Yeah. That's why I think we need more black people in healthcare. Period.
Oh,
And they need to go through the
absolutely.
racial bias training too.
It exists. There
You
are
know,
black
like
people
we're
who are
black,
racist. A
they
lot
will
of women are
think the same
sexist.
things that the white people think because that's what they're taught because it's such a white profession, nursing and doctoring and all that. It's
Well, yeah,
all
if you're going to medical school, you're probably already at least a little privileged.
mm-hmm,
I mean, just
at least a
I
little
would
bit.
love to see more black people in medicine. I also think that what would happen was medicine would become more compassionate because now we're going to look at things from different angles. I'd also
Yeah,
like to see more
as long
black
as
people in
we can all work
finance.
on our biases because we, even black people, have biases against black people. You know,
Sure, we all have biases.
kind of
Um,
sucks.
I'd also like to see
I'm
more
all,
black people
I'm
in
the
venture
bummer. I
capitalism.
want to bum you out.
It's another area
You want to see
where
black people in
it's been
venture
really bad.
capitalism?
It's been really bad for black people.
I think I could be in venture capital. What is that? Tell me what it is.
It's basically if you venture capitalists invest in kind of like the Shark Tank. They invest in multiple businesses and
That
they
they
back
think might go.
businesses that haven't made it yet because they're betting on being right about at least a few of them.
Fuck, I wish I had that kind of money. I would do it.
It's what tech people with too much money do. They become venture capitalists. But the
Yeah.
problem is, it's been proven that venture capitalists turn down women more than men, but turn down black people more than anyone.
Fuck them. That's why you
So
see. That's
there
why
has to be
you
more
can't
black
trust
venture
the system.
capitalists because otherwise we're missing out on all those
We need
ideas.
more black billionaires. Everybody donate to me so that I can become a billionaire. Okay?
You
Come
know what though?
on.
I'm
It's
gonna
true
throw
though.
out
We actually
an
do. We
idea.
need them.
I'm going to throw out a different idea. While I would agree we need more black people with a lot of wealth, I think we're less likely to see a black billionaire, not because we're not going to have a black person that's successful, but I think a black person is more likely to give more away,
Well,
knowing
Oprah's a billionaire.
come from. Because if you have $1 billion, that means there's a, like, how did you amass that? Once you get to a certain point, you couldn't possibly spend more.
Yeah, no, you can't spend it.
So,
I mean,
so
it's too
I,
much to spend. If you go through $1 billion in your lifetime, you deserve to be broke.
yeah, you deserve to be broke. I can see spending $1 million a year. I can see how that could happen. 5 million a year.
There's
But
some of
that's
those
still
motherfuckers
only
that
half a billion.
house is like fucking 20 million,
Yeah. I just a
but
billion.
like a billion,
How do
shit.
you amass that and why would you? And I honestly think that a black person would be more likely to at a certain point, like look at Jeffrey, is it, do you pronounce it
Black people just
Quintana?
as greedy as white people, you know. We just do more charity, but money makes money. So
Get a
once you have
lot
a certain amount of
done.
money, it makes money just from being there, existing. Your money being somewhere and being invested and being used, you make
$10
money.
million
Even if you
dollars
just had it in a
would be
savings
enough.
and
10
you had
million.
$1 billion, how much is the interest on the savings account per year if you did nothing of $1 billion? I
If
don't
you
know.
did nothing, in interest on the billion, not spending 1 cent of the billion, interest on the billion would be more than enough to live on,
Okay, see,
even in a moderate market, even in a lower market.
see, that's why we need more black billionaires. Everybody, send me $1 billion. Steve Jobs or no, Steve
Absolutely.
Jobs ghost. Send it to me, and then all of you, Zuckerberg, Jack, all you guys, send me $1 billion each, and you will see me clean this up. I'll fix so much shit. Hmm. Man, Thanksgiving is the worst. They're putting us under lockdown again tomorrow.
How
But
locked down is locked down.
it's pretty locked down. You know, they don't really want you out. You just, if you need to go somewhere, you can go, but it has to be like you're just going there and back, or you're going to work and coming home. Otherwise, all the restaurants are closed. You can do takeout, but you can't go back in the restaurants or anything like that. So everything's closed down. Like they don't have anything open. None of the municipal offices are open. Everything's closed. There's nothing going to happen.
I would have thought that Alaska might have been a little bit more, not immune, but a little bit more
Shit,
protected from the hot spots.
motherfucker. We got an international airport right here by my house. So I got COVID back in February. early February, but it lingered. And then it didn't become like full blown for a while. You know, you can feel something in your system piling up, like feel like you have virus multiplying in your system because you're like buzzing with infection. That's how I felt for like 2 weeks, and then I was like, oh, I laid in bed and I just could not get it back out, and it was bad for like a month. I was just fucking dying trying to make it to the fucking toilet. It took all my energy just to walk, get out of bed. Like, I mean, moving my legs took so much energy because they started getting swollen with fluid, like water, like there was retaining water real bad, you know, and like so they were heavy. Like my legs are heavy. I'm like, oh my god, they're so fucking, they're bigger than they normally are, right? Because they're swollen. So you're like, you can't fucking walk. My legs are hurting because they're so swollen, and that's what they're, man. That vascular shit is fucked up. Made it to the bathroom, but I would like stop in the hallway, and Mike comes over. He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "You need to help me get to the toilet, and then I can pee." And then he had to take me back in there and help me get back on the bed. And it took like fucking 15 fucking minutes just to get down. I My bathroom is on the other side of the wall of my room. That's how long it took me to get to the bathroom because I was just like, "Oh my god, I can't."
Damn.
And when I sat down on the toilet, oh my god, just walking that distance. When I was walking, I would go to the car. I'd have to plan it. Like I'm gonna fucking walk out to the front. I'm gonna sit on the steps. Then I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna walk up the steps, but then I'm gonna sit on the next step so I can rest. Then I'm gonna go to the fucking porch where the step. I'm gonna make it all the way to the car, and then I can sit down and I can rest for like 10 minutes before I can drive away because I was that tired. So like just going to the store to get fucking juice was a fucking ordeal. So I had to make him go. Like I can't even make it there, and I'm still not well. And people are like, I don't like the stories where they're like, it lasts 3 weeks and then I started getting back to normal. No, I didn't. It's not, you don't get back to normal. Maybe you should check your fluids. I don't know because it's bad. My mom had it. She still feels a little bit bad, but not as bad as me. And she's older than I am. But like in your 30s and your 40s, I think there's a special little time in there where it fucks you up. 'Cause I'm telling you, my friend died. She's 33, 7 kids, dead. And I
That's
can see how she
horrible.
died because I could barely fucking. I had to come back and sit on the chair to sleep because I couldn't get in the bed because whenever I would lay on my back or my side or anything, couldn't breathe. So I could prop myself up with pillows in my chair and sleep like that. That was the only way I could sleep. Otherwise, I was gonna have to go to the hospital and end up on a ventilator. And I was like, that is just increases my chance of death because I am susceptible to the infections. Like I catch an infection anytime in the hospital,
Well, yeah, hospitals are the dirtiest places ever, even though they clean,
constantly. So
constantly.
it was
Yeah,
just
yeah. No,
bad.
you avoid the hospital if you can.
It was just bad, and they didn't have beds anyway. Like when I was sick, and I got really, really sick in March, like, cause it was, it wasn't like a straight shot where you like got sick and then you started getting better and then now you're better. It was like you got sick and then you got a little better and then dope you were fucking sicker and a little bit better and then oh god sick again. Like it was bad. I was going on a roller coaster all the way through like June, and then it started clearing up a little bit by a little bit in July, August, September. I'm still like fucked up. So I have days where I'm like, I just need to lay here, and I will lay in bed half the day because I can't. I'm too tired physically, and I'm not doing anything. But I'm tired, exhausted, worn out. I think it's chronic now. It's at the point where it's like one of those conditions that is just gonna stay, and I'm just gonna have to deal with it until I
Oh
die.
no,
It's
no,
bad.
let's
Don't
not go
catch it,
there.
is what I'm saying. Don't fucking catch it. Do not fucking catch it. Don't. Don't catch it. I mean, if a 33-year-old who's relatively healthy can just fucking die in her sleep and she just never wakes up, like this is after the hospital put her out. They were like, whatever. They basically she did drugs, so they just attributed whatever was wrong with her to drugs. But she was in rehab and clean for like 3 months, so she was telling them like, no, I'm not. It's not fucking drugs. I'm sick, and they didn't give her shit. They just sent her home, and there she
I
was.
actually, was she married?
Mm-mm.
I mean, I think it would be reasonable to pursue possible legal action.
Which can you do when they were doing that to everybody? You know, like it was a lot
Were
of
you
people.
like, did you go to a regular doctor though? At
Me, I
least?
called my doctor. She would not. She wouldn't even let me go. She's retired. The doctors are retiring. If you can retire, you're retiring. Nurses too. They're leaving the field. Um, because that's. I mean, you can die as a doctor. That's like a danger zone,
Yeah,
pretty much
because
right now.
doctors also age,
Well, they're
you
catching
know,
coronavirus and they're getting
and get
sick
less
and
healthy.
dying. And she was old. My doctor was 72, 73. You know, spry, but still, she's
But
older. And
still,
she was like, don't go to the hospital because she knows about my lungs and shit. She's like, you know, you have it. Stay home, you know, and if you feel like you really cannot breathe, if you get to the point where you're just unable to, then you go because that was what my symptoms were, the breathing. Other people have different symptoms that are, you know, should indicate that they should go, but it's not always the breathing. Some people don't have any problem breathing at all. It's something else, right? Which is scary. So you can't
it is
tell.
weird the way it hits different people
Mm,
so differently.
I have fucking type O positive blood, which means that, you know, people with O blood were less susceptible to getting the most severe form, I guess. So that's probably why I didn't end up on the ventilator. Otherwise, I would have been in there with my neck cut open because I cannot breathe. But I sat up. And that's why I would stay awake a lot of the time because I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to fucking make it through the night. Maybe if I stay up until the daytime, I can sleep in the daytime and I won't die. So I stayed up all night, just like making sure I could breathe so that I could be up in the daytime because he'll check on me in the daytime. He can't check on me if he sleep. It's fucked up, huh? That's fucked up. But I couldn't go to the hospital. There was like no beds left. Like it was bad. Our hospital was filled up. It's already filled up right now. They can't like, and you know we don't have the best medical facilities here at all. So people are dying because they're triaging people now from most severe to least severe, and you get a bed if you are on death's door. But I mean, if you listen to the reports, they're telling you how many beds are left and how many beds are full, and you know, in different cities all the time. And I'm reading them, and I'm like, this is getting scary because they don't have very many beds that are not full.
And this is where honestly Europe does something that I understand, but most Americans do not accept as being moral. And that is, I certainly, of course, do not have Trump's opinion that we can sacrifice our grandparents.
Hmm.
At the same time, if you're a hospital and you're triaging and you have a few people in their 90s and you have people who maybe are a little less severe but still severe in their 50s,
They do that here.
sometimes you have to make decisions.
They do that here. They just don't openly talk about it. They have to.
Okay, that's
It's like you have to triage. You have to. You have to make
well,
decisions.
and I even mean triaging by age.
They 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 have to. If you have a baby that's fucking sick from coronavirus and struggling to breathe, and you have a 90-year-old, who do you fucking save?
And I have even heard about some elderly people saying no ventilator. No, if in a hospital where they didn't have enough.
Hmm. They had to. I mean, what do you do? You're 90 years old and there's a baby struggling to live, and you're struggling. Who do you pick? You or them?
I would like to think I would pick them.
Right?
I mean, the other thing is US healthcare. Now, I have no idea where these statistics come from, but apparently we spend an obscene amount of the percentage of our total healthcare costs on the last month of life.
Hmm.
In Europe, they don't do that. They don't do extreme measures. It's not like they
Mm-mm.
just put their old out and are like, screw you. They
Mm-mm.
just
They
don't
realize
see,
death is natural.
yeah, they don't see the need to be God and try and make them live longer than they were supposed to.
So we have to talk about how we do healthcare.
Oh, yeah. If we don't change anything, I don't think there's a system that can save us.
And Medicare for all is not going to save us from that.
Nope, definitely won't.
It will save Bernie. You know, he can get all the stuff he wants, but we don't have enough doctors. And you try to talk to people about, let's talk about what we actually have structurally. Like, what do we have? We have a system of private hospitals mostly. We have charity hospitals. We have most of the private hospitals are for profit. We have not for profit healthcare under like places like Kaiser, where they own their own hospitals. And then we have government hospitals that are run by the government through the VA and stuff like that. And sometimes we have like county hospitals, right? Or whatever you live in, and that is your welfare hospital. These are all different systems and they're patchwork. We don't have a system where everything is tied together. It's all each little thing has its own system it operates on. VA runs the VA hospitals and their VA clinics, and that's where you go for your health care. If you're in Kaiser, which I used to be, they have a system of hospitals and doctors' offices. You have to fuck with your own network, right? And you have your own private provider, and you have to get referrals to go up any higher and to get you know specialists and shit, right? Or you can do like it's it's an HMO, right? Or otherwise you do a PPO, which is a little bit different and it costs a little bit more, but you get to go out of network.
Yeah.
Then you have the and look, she's the insurance expert. I just know this shit from just fucking experience. My daughter, when she was dying, I went through a whole lot of bullshit with the medical system. Various
And that
different
shouldn't have been your
hospitals.
worry at the time.
Yeah, so I learned everything I could fucking learn about health insurance, how healthcare is managed, how our system is, because I had to do things in order to. She had bills that were over what Medicaid would pay. You know how they say Medicaid it usually pays for everything. Well, it doesn't always. There's something that you have to pay, and sometimes it's way more than you can pay. Because you have a person that's dying and they are doing extreme measures, right? So I had to learn different parts of the system to use to get those bills paid off. And it was fucking hard to navigate the systems because it's a patchwork and they don't all work together. So you're using public funds to pay for private care, and you have to get special permission in order to do this because because your kid's dying. And you don't have any other way. And I would, in a lot of the times, it would be the charities that would pay what I could not pay, like Ronald McDonald House or whatever the fuck would pay for it. And that was hard. It was really fucking hard. Um, I think that was the hardest thing about it was being bothered about paperwork when your kid's dying and you're like bogged down with all this paperwork and they're telling you all this money you owe and you're like, this
Just save
child
my
is not gonna
kid.
make it. Why are you fucking with me? I'm never gonna pay you. Like
Let's
I'm
be clear.
never gonna pay you ever. I'll never be able to pay that. You're
You might as
crazy.
well write it off right this
They
moment.
wrote it off. They wrote it off. They did. They ended up writing it off, but it was hard. I had to talk to shit. I had to talk to the Jewish people. I had to talk to the fucking Christians. I had to talk to everybody and make them pay it, and they did. They always paid it. So I don't really have problems with anybody because when I was at my worst point, people from every walk of life helped me. And I don't, I'm talking Asian, motherfucking Middle Easterns. Every fucking body stepped up and helped me. They helped me. Black people, white people, everybody. And it was a struggle. But that they knew I couldn't fucking do it. And it was one of those diseases that people never saw. So I had doctors that came from other hospitals around the country, nurses that come in from Dallas, Texas, and they come just to work on this case because they had another case with another kid that died of the same illness and they had the same last name. So they came after they watched that baby die, came to watch help me while I mine did. And it's really sad, but they like everybody stepped up. Even though there was a couple doctors that were kind of like blaming me, I'm like, you're crazy, And I had to have a talk with one about genetics. Like, you're a doctor. Do you understand genetics? I just got a handout. Here you go. You need to read this and stop snarking at
If
me
I had a
because
kid with Tay-Sachs, that would not be because of a
it would
blame
have
on
nothing
me.
to do with my behavior or my attitude or the music I listen
Yeah,
to
not
or the
it's a
or the weed
gene.
I'm smoking. It is the fucking kid. But they're like, you look like a gangster or whatever. It's got to be your fault. Like you're crazy. You're a doctor, but there's a lot of racism in medicine.
Yeah.
A lot. There's a lot, and they know it. Because I'll say something. I always said something. And I would, I would tell the next one on them. I'll get them together and just tell on you. To everybody. I've done that. I go to the whole team. They'd be like a team of 10 doctors, and I'll be like, that one's racist.
You know what? You
They'll
gotta
look
do
at
what you
me.
gotta do. You
It
gotta
was it
advocate
was a
for yourself.
struggle. It was a fucking struggle. And I lost my filter. That was where I lost my filter. That's why I don't have one. You if your kid dies and you have to watch like oh this fucking like I'm like oh god and you don't want to say please just let her go because it hurts so much, but then it's again you're selfish, you're human, you want your kid with you, right? So you have all these conflicting emotions, and there's somebody sitting there staring at you. Get the fuck away from me. Like I'm having emotion. I'm having emotional breakdowns in front of everybody. I've had emotional breakdowns in front of everybody. Anybody. And it was the worst. And I can't say that I was like, well behaved at the time or that I was a person you would ever want to be around at that time. I was the worst person to be around at that time. I wouldn't like nobody liked me. I
I
was
think it's
unlikable.
understandable.
I was fucking angry. I was fucking angry. What is this shit? Why is Renee Zellweger on this stupid movie? Yeah, I hated Bridget Jones' Diary during that time. Shut up, shut up, Renee Zellweger, because my daughter